Yeah, old school. That's what I'm talking about. Listen, this ain't for everybody. Some of y'all need to hear this. I know you're in the trenches fighting, but check it out. I'm gonna put it down like this so I can help the saints understand. Everything you're going through is all part of the master plan. Or what? You thought because you got saved everything was gonna be peaches and cream? You better wake up, son. Don't nothing come to a sleeper but a dream. Faith without works is dead. Read your Bible, you know what it said. He who don't work don't eat. Slackers don't get fed. Yeah, Jesus said, he who puts his hands to the plow looks back the same ain't fit. Some of y'all ain't been in the trenches 5 minutes and you about ready to quit. I ain't mad at you, I'm just hitting you with the real. If you died for me and I was still tripping, now how you think that make you feel? Check this out, deep game, this here's deep. Some of y'all ain't sowing nothing but you started trying to reap. But unto him who is able to possess your fathers by his glory. Struggles might be part of your testimony, but it ain't the end of the story. Now the point is, this was prophesied way back in the day. Choir, sing your hook right here and see if the church can relate.
I know we can make it. I know good and well. God can work it out. Work it out. Work it out. Yeah, he'll work it out. I know we can make it. We can make it. I know good and well. God can work it out. Yes, he can. Yes, he can. Yes, he can. Yeah.
Thinking not strange, the fiery trials wanted to try you. You say, why you? But your church say, what would Jesus do? Why you asking if he ain't trying to do what he's saying? He told you he was going to have tribulations, but you thought he was playing. 1 minute you tell him how good God is and can't nobody beat your talk. The next minute you're backsliding so fast, it's like you're moonwalking. Oh yeah, I'm preaching to myself because I ain't no better. It ain't like I've been following his every word, obeying it to the letter. So we soldiers, we got to remember that. Regroup, stay on point. Yeah, bow down, confess, repent, stay humble, let him anoint. It ain't easy as I thought it was. I'd be lying if I told you that. But it's showing up getting better all the time. Trust me, that's the fact. Ain't nothing we going through that can't be handled. God put that on his tongue. Like they say, you can shout now if you want to, because the battle's already won. So while you're going through the valley, don't even trip. You're going to be on top. Choir, sing the hook line one more again. This time you don't stop.
I know we can make it. We can make it.
Yeah, we're going to pump the brakes right there, because I know we're going to make it, because Big Boy Stairs said so. Just had to give a minute to him, you know, because it's my belief, and I hope it is yours, that he's going to reach down and touch some people, boy, and kind of correct all these crazy things that we dealing with in our life during these times, boy, because every time you turn on the news, every time you look around, boy, you find some stuff going on that some people that really need to be touched in a good way. But anyway, I've said my little spiel on that, you know, but this is your host, Lamont Patterson, and you are listening to I Am Indie. And we definitely thank you for joining us today, because we know you could be somewhere else doing something else. But as usual, we have a great show lined up for you. We're going to bless your eardrums today. We got Mr. Jeff Clayborn is going to be joining us, and going to be taking us on his little journey and introducing us to what he's got going on, what he's been doing, and great music. So sit back, let your windows down, and turn the air conditioner up, and we'll be right back with Mr. Jeff Clayborn.
I am indie. With your host, Lamont Patterson. I'm independent, but I'm in it. I'm feeling fine all the time. On my pride, I am indie. Alicia Rain at the wave.
Yeah, hump day. You know, we made it this far, so, you know, hopefully, you know, it's only a few more days in the rest of the week. And I know, you know, with Big Boy's blessing upstairs, we're going to make it the rest of the way. So with that, let me see as our guest arrived. We know we heard his plane was circling the airport, so let me see if he's in touchdown. Mr. Clayborn, are you with us?
I am. I have touchdown. The Eagle has landed.
Very good, man. Welcome to the show, man. We definitely thank you for taking time out, man, and coming through and chatting with us.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Oh, man, shoot, it's my pleasure, man. I'm a Texas boy. You know, you're doing my kind of music.
All right. Very good. Yeah, I love it all, and we're trying to do what we do the very best we can. And, yeah, with God's help, we are making some tracks, and we are making some waves, and it's been a long road. It's been a long journey, but it's worth all the time and effort. It's been a lot of fun.
Well, it's a blessing for you to be able to do the journey.
Absolutely. I'm glad to be alive and glad to be blessed and loved, and then too, able to share and find my talents early on and be able to express those talents. I think that's one of the most important things we can do. So to see that, to be with that, and be kind of personify blessings, and going back to the talents parable, where you're actually blessed with a certain amount of talent, and then it's up to you to do the rest when you discover where your passion is. So a lot of glory. All of it goes to God. So thank you very much for having us and doing what you do, too.
Well, man, you said a mouthful 2 times, man, because a lot of people go through their whole lifetime and really not discover what their talent is or their passion.
Yeah, I I don't know where I heard it, whether it be in church or in school and in athletics, or saw it in
I lost you there for a minute, Jeff. Oh, don't know.
Yeah, I'm
Jeff,
still here with
there?
you. I had a glitch in the phone there, but I'm still here with you.
Oh, okay. Well, I was wondering. I'm just going to go play some music, but I'm glad you're back with us.
Okay, sorry.
No, I know you were saying, whether you hear it in church or somewhere else, and I think that's when you kind of cut out right about there, and we didn't hear you.
Yeah. The idea to be able to follow your passion and pray for patience in everything that you're doing. I think that has been my greatest gift that I can be thankful for, other than, all the necessary tools and a great family and a lot of love in my life. Patience and praying for patience every day to keep moving on and see some growth in what you're doing, and live the life, and just keep on keeping on and live the best life you can.
Yeah, that's powerful and good words for our listeners really to hone in and focus on. Jeff, I got a lot of questions here lined up for you, man, but I got one that's not here, and as an artist and you as an artist, man, I'm always curious because we all come into this industry different ways. So I always like to ask the artists, how did you get involved in this? Where did Jeff come from? Were your parents? I know I'm throwing all in that together. I mean, did you have music in the house? I mean, were either one of your parents musicians? And when did you get by the bug, and how did you get bit by the bug?
Yeah, my dad was a musician out of the University of Oklahoma. He was a music major there out of Norman, and then he also was a minister. So he was a minister of music, a pastor, a youth minister in the church, and then he obviously directed the choir there as I was growing up through, I was just starting to understand what things were about. I was growing up in the church, and seeing the business of the church and getting to know the music of the church. And I asked him, I went to rehearsals and just kept growing up and said, what are you doing there when you're separating these people and you're flowing this way and flowing that way, and then, to hear the final product on Sunday and see that everybody liked it, that was what I thought life was about. I thought that's how you expressed yourself. So music was in the house, obviously, and in the church, and just grew up around it and thought that would be a great way to express myself. So I just kind of stayed with it, started, the piano was a toy, just started banging around on it a little bit. And then my grandfather was a musician. He showed me a few chords and just started to sing and started to try out and sing wherever I could, and it was just something that was there from the beginning. I was also an athlete and had a lot of athletic friends, so football, as you know, is a religion in Texas, and that was a big part of my life as well growing up. I discovered the quarterback position at about 5th or 6th grade and never looked back. I just played quarterback all the way through, up to 2 or 3 years in college in different capacities. But music was always the first love, and the way that I thought I was most successful in telling people how I felt, and then all of the lessons and the things about life that I wondered about that I didn't know as a kid, I found in music. I found in Motown. I learned about love, through Marvin Gaye and through Teddy Pendergrass and Lionel Richie and Michael Jackson, and just it's where I went. It was my library. It was those tapes, and I would run away from home sometimes, scare my parents to death, just to go sit in the creek somewhere and get out of school and just sit and play hooky and play my tapes in the creek and sing along with everybody from Billy Joel to my goodness, there's so many influences, Johnny Cash and folk artists, and Waylon Jennings, and anything. We got all kinds of music in Texas.
You said, I just heard you say creek, man. City people don't know nothing about no creek.
Yeah, I might call it a creek or something. I don't know. They say it's different. But I remember just retreating down into the creeks around my house. I would just escape and run away and hide, and I just remember there being a bunch of creeks, and that was my refuge. Streams.
That's
Streams.
Awesome. Mine was kind of similar because when I left Texas, probably probably before you were born, even either it was play music, play sports, or pick cotton.
Yeah,
three.
Right. Yep. Yeah.
So I ended up with the music because I found out I wasn't no good at picking cotton.
Right, and that's my mom was a farm girl too, so I grew up on a farm. I got a song called "Acres of Sunshine" that kind of is about that song or about that life and about looking back and trying to get back to those days of being on the farm and kind of being free and out in the open in the fields and all that. So you draw from that for your art and for your job and for your career. That's what I was saying at the beginning. I hope that people, and it's never too late to change and never too late to begin to live the life that you were born to live. It's you draw from your childhood, you draw from your past, good or bad, and communicate that to people. You're kind of on the right track. I think that's the beautiful thing about following Christ or following your heart, is that you are always living a full life. And, future's bright if you follow your heart. That's what I always say.
Right. I totally agree with that. So tell us a little bit, channels here. Tell us a little bit about your new album.
Yeah, it's exciting to finally get this album to the public. I've been writing songs for a long time, and I've been in the music industry and the entertainment industry for a long time. And I was a duo with my brother for a while. I was in and out of everything from R&B bands to jazz singing on the California coast, always looking for where I might fit in, where my voice or my persona fit in. And so these are a collection of thoughts and songs and ideas over a good period of time, because that first record kind of, tells you where the artist is coming from. And then record number 2 and number 3 kind of shows you a stamp in time of where the artist is or was. And that's why I like to go back and listen to full albums and their narrative, of that year of where the artist was. And this one is very accurate for me. It is a little bit of everything on this record. I've got a little bit of southern rock blues, like an Allman Brothers. I've got some bluegrass sounding music. I've got one I call it kind of a radio cut called Caddy in the Campground that has a video, and it's just a lot of fun and a crazy idea. And then some ballads, and then a gospel song that I hope does well, which we've just are starting to release here for the fall, and then some story songs about just having great friends and good times going by, and how sometimes time can get lost in music and in hanging out with good people.
Right. Sounds good. We got one of your songs queued up here. We got I Reckon. We're going to play that for our listeners.
Oh, good.
And we're going to come back and talk about that.
Beautiful.
Everybody put your ears on this. Mr. Jeff Clayborn with I Reckon.
I did my homework every night. I went to college once or twice. Still I ain't the sharpest knife in the kitchen drawer. Every time I went astray, I always heard my daddy say, boy, you can't forget the work you were put here for. Wiser men than me should preach. Still I got something I can teach. These are things that I found. I'm just passing them on down. There's a kinder word to say, a better way to pray, I reckon. Hoping every smile, loving every child, I reckon. The higher up you climb, the bigger hills you find, I reckon. That's what my daddy said, I reckon. I got a job and bought a truck. I found a girl who shook me up. We turned these bricks into a loving home. Bills come and babies cry. We make up after every fight. Dad always said, life ain't like a TV show. Wiser men than me should preach. Still I got something I can teach. These aren't things that I found. I'm just passing them on now. There's a kinder word to say, a better way to pray, I reckon. Hoping every song, loving every child, the higher up you climb, the bigger hills you find, I reckon. That's what my daddy said, I reckon. Got a boy, he's 23. He finally opened up to me, told me, Dad, I need a word or two. You see, I met a girl, we had some fun. I think she may be the one. I said, son, life ain't like a TV show. That's what my daddy said. Thank you, Dad.
Yes, I reckon with Mr. Jeff Clayborn, man. That was fantastic.
Thank you, Ron. Appreciate it.
Definitely talks about something important.
Yeah, Grant Maloy Smith wrote that song. He is a buddy of mine that I've met through the Indie Collaboration, which is a extraordinary group out of New York and L.A. and really all over the United States. And we get together from time to time and celebrate the diversity in music, the diversity in being from all over the place. The Indie Collaborative is collaborative from all over the world, and people are joining each week. And it is a kind of a support network, but more than that, even a friend network where we get together and talk about the difficulties of being an artist and what an artist's life is like. And Grant and I were getting ready for a show, and he said, I want to play a new song, and I'm thinking about doing it for the show, and I want to see what you think. And I said, we're doing that one. Please do that one and let me sing harmony on it. And we sang it in front of some folks and lifted the room. The room just lifted for me, and I think for some others too. And I asked him to record it, and he's graciously allowed me to record the song and put it on my record.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, fantastic, man. That's great, man. It's a great sounding song, and I know you'll have great success with that.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's about kind of an ode to being a parent. You know, it comes back to the end of the song, and you're talking a little bit more about, wow, I guess I really was listening to my dad. Because I'm saying the same things as he was saying, and teaching some of the same lessons, and it's kind of one of those all comes back in a circle, you know.
You know, in a good way, Jeff, you know, the fact that you can collaborate with so many different artists all over the world is a lot different than it used to be. It used to be a little harder to work. You know, I mean, that's one of the good things about the Internet. It made it, you know, possible to reach out and, you know, network with different artists, different producers, different writers and stuff.
Man, it is. I guess. It is. That's the best part of it is the networking.
Yeah, that's
and
the
friends
best part
that
of
you
it.
Can make.
Right. You know, the bad part of it is the way that instant, you know, kind of really kind of mess with the record industry. And what I mean by that is, you know, there was a time where people would have to come out and really see Jeff play and sing, you know, and you were judged solely by your live performances and what you did now. But, you know, with the Internet, a lot of times, you know, the A&R people and larger record companies, they want to look at your views and see how many likes and hits you got before they even listen to you and check you out as an artist. You know?
Yeah, that's so true. You know, and I'm a big music history guy, and I like and really entertainment, show business, film, and I like to think of it as the old vaudeville days now. You know, the record deal is so different, you know, for anybody that gets in with a record company or one of the bigger, more funded, whether really banked record companies. It's a different relationship than it ever was, and I think it does change, you know, every decade. It goes through kind of a metamorphosis and kind of comes out on the other end, depending on the style of the artist, the style of the A&R groups and everything. But I like to think of it right now as we're starting over. When radio just began and before radio hit, we're vaudeville now. We have to get around. You got to get out and play. You got to go out and see the world as it really is. It's not on your phone. It's really not on TV. It's you know, sometimes it's expressed in art and in film, and there's times where there's some truth out there. But you got to go search for the truth as an artist. You need to travel. You need to get out and go sing to the people, whether you're singing from a corner or you're singing on a stage in an arena somewhere. You just have to go out and communicate and be able to bring it to the stage.
Yes, that's true. That is so very true. You can't just sit
You got to
in
show up.
the studio. Yeah, you can't just sit in the studio and make music and think that's all of it, because it really isn't.
Well, and we're not making money. We're not making a lot of money. Not very few of us are making, really any money to go out and buy homes and plan a future and invest and do that kind of stuff. We are making art now. So, like in the old days, it was about just going out and doing it for the love of art. And fame and all of that was a very different thing. So I like the Internet. I think that there's a lot of information out there, but with information comes misinformation. And I think that art and honest artists, whether you're painting, writing a book, singing, playing jazz, playing an instrument, you are looking for truth. And it's not all, it's not all truth out there on the Internet. Sorry to say.
It's more misinformation.
Right.
Definitely
it's just as hard to find now. You have to get face to face, and that's what my music and my art is about: is spend time with the people that you love and be present, be in the moment, and don't try to do 7 things at one time, because you're missing out on a lot of beauty. So that's what I hope my music comes from that place. I hope that it says that.
Yeah, well, hey, listen, so far I'm sure it does. Tell us a little bit about a good bartender, because I don't want to think that was about an alcoholic that attended a bar.
Right. So, Good Bar Attender was the first song that I brought to Chuck Ebert, who is the producer on this record, and we were impressed with the song. I had it in the pocket for a while. Wrote it with a good friend of mine, Doug Allen Wright, here in Fort Worth, Texas, and it was a novelty song. It was something about, for me, Good Bar Attender is just about that, going out, having fun. Yeah, the saloons are fun, going out and seeing live music in venues and having a drink or two and tipping well. It's fine to put your phone in the air and record where you are and communicate with your friends. I understand that. I know that a lot of people do that in a lot of different ways, but a good bar attender is one of those that just is responsible, takes a good ride home, and just is a good, fun, sing-along song about being present, being in the moment, and it just happens to take place in a saloon. It could be anywhere, but we named the title of that record that we have now called Good Bar Attender, because this one goes out to the good bar attenders. They got the people that go out and make friends and that are friendly and just have fun, good-natured fun. That's what it's about.
All right, then. Okay, everybody, this is Good Bartender, Mr. Jeff Clayborn. So, like I like to say, let the windows down, turn the air conditioner up, and put your ear on this.
Hey there, come on in. Are you looking for direction? Don't mean to be a sounding rude. Can I give you a little education? It's the place where we all cut loose. Raise your glass as we raise the roof and be a good bartender. And I can show you how. So be a good bartender. I can show you how. I can make you feel right at home. So welcome to the crowd. It's the place where we all cut loose. Raise your glass as we raise the roof and be a good bartender.
Okay, your girl Miss Dramaganza, check. Lip gloss, check. Mascara, check. I am Indie with the homie K Diddy, check. You listening to Blog Talk Radio, baby, and I love you for it. Mwah.
Yeah, everybody, we back with our guest today, Mr. Jeff Clayborn. So yes, boy, I'm a good bartender.
Yep, I'd like to say I am too. I've been a good bar attender for a while now.
Well, Jeff, it looks like you got so many different things going for you. I know you got your music going and you got some charitable involvements going on too. So tell us, our listeners, a little bit about that.
Yeah, that's the best part of kind of being in public, performing, being on stage, being a little bit more visible to the public, you know, and music has always been a platform to stand up for the less fortunate, stand up for people who need help. It's always been inclusive for me, and I want to be inclusive for everyone else that is interested in this journey, interested in this project and this company and what the kind of music they were putting out. I want to, you know, do shout-outs for Ronald McDonald House. I want to do shout-outs for Variety and for children's charities. And I go as far as making sure that people are aware of pet adoptions, even in their towns. You know, pets, dogs, animals are fun for me, always have been. You always learn so much from having a great friend as a pet, as an animal that you're taking care of, and it's even more special when you go and save them and realize every day when you look at them that you've actually made their life meaningful and saved them from a horrific situation. Same way with children. So, you know, I'm looking for ways to give around the world. I'll always do that. That's part of my heritage, part of my family, part of what I learned growing up in the church. And any way I can give back, it's my way of applause. It's my way of trying to communicate what's going on. You know, it's a wild time in American history and in world history right now. This is going to be a really dense time. We're trying to make it through this technology growth phase here, and it's crazy right now. So any good, any encouragement, all of the good things, It's Philippians 4:4 is one of my favorite passages that just talks about meditate on the beauty, meditate on good things, find good things in life. You're going to be happier, you're going to be able to communicate a little bit more clear, and you're just going to have better people around you. So I love being around volunteers and people that are trying to make a difference like that. So that's what that's all about.
Yeah, well, that's where the power comes from. That's where the magic comes from, because, there's so many, should I say, takers and negative people. And when I say takers, I mean they drain your energy. I mean they just take your sunshine from you, and you try to figure out why. And then if you step back and take a look at them, and then you realize that a lot of it is self-inflicted.
Yes. Yeah, not able to generate their own and have not been shown the light. So they're not able, in my view, to get out and go find it for themselves and within themselves. So they tend to lash out at people who might be experiencing some of that goodness, some of that joy, some of that love that they are needing, wanting more of. Or sometimes it's greed. Sometimes it's just the clinical stuff going on in the brain where we're not eating right, not taking care of ourselves, and they tend to grab on and then want to diminish good for some reason, that might help get it into their life. And I'm here to say and spread the message that you got to find it within. Can't go draining and trying to get it out of other people. It's just not what I have learned in my life.
Well, I think first and foremost, people should learn how to get out of their own way.
Yeah, isn't that right?
If they learn how to get out of their own way, they won't block their blessings. Because I feel like the reason they can't, do the things that they really want to do, or the things that they're jealous of, envious of you doing, they could do themselves if they could just simply learn how to get out of their own way.
Yeah, and I went through it. I had to get out of my own way. I had to let myself thrive. I had to allow the goodness to come in and allow to be more expressive and get away from my shyness and my thinking my vote doesn't matter or my opinion doesn't matter or that smile that I put on the street or the little acts of kindness don't really matter. I had to get out of my way and think, no, that's where I'm growing. That will be where I grow, and then one day I'll be able to express it fully and maybe at a stronger and better level. So that's my ministry. Music can be a ministry, and I looked at ministry for a long time too. A number of times did some interviews and looked into that path. And
you are ministering. That's what you're doing now.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing now.
Yeah. So I got that message and said, okay, well, then it'll be a little bit more secular and it'll be a little bit more in advertising and marketing and the media side of things, but that's okay.
Well, I tend to think you're ministering now. You just took your congregation on a larger scale. You took your church on a larger scale. You took it out of a building. People can hear it. They can hear your message.
Well, thank you for that. Thank you very much. That's I appreciate.
I think that's equally as important, and in some way, somehow, I think even with this show that I do, hopefully somewhere, we're touching some people and we're giving them some positivity, some insight, and even that little kick in the butt,
Yep.
Get up, it's a big world out there, it's a beautiful world out there, and no matter what trials and tribulations you're going through, there's always a better way to handle it, and you just got to look for it.
Yep, you are doing it. You and your team are doing it. I could hear it in your intro and hear it in your voice and in your spirit. So thank you. Absolutely.
Well, I'm from over there in Paris, Sherman, Texas. I know you know where that is.
Yeah, of course. Been through many times. Done some shows there, and I love East Texas. It's prettier as you go east in Texas. If you ask me, it's more like green and pine trees and more nature, more rain. But all of Texas is interesting. But I love that. So that's where you grew up, huh?
Yep. I come from this little one-horse town. Maybe they got 2 horses now. This little 2-horse town called Bonham. Bonham, 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 Texas. That's where I was born.
Oh, that's great. That's great. It's still there, man. I've driven through Bonham, and I guess it's probably named after a guy named John Bonham, one of the
Bonham,
heroes.
That's who it is.
Yeah, one of the heroes of the Alamo and that whole struggle there as we were going through independence there for Texas. So it's a great story. It's a great state.
Yeah.
It's a great state to grow up in. It really is.
Yeah, I built a home down there a few years ago. I just haven't had the opportunity to spend the night in it yet, but I built a home there. And I tell everybody too, Jeff, being here on the West Coast, the food is just not like it is in Texas, man. A watermelon tastes like a watermelon there. Cabbage tastes like cabbage. Corn tastes like corn. All the veggies taste like they supposed to. And then when you come this way, I understand because of the population and, the water shortage and, and all that little stuff. And, they import a lot of fruit and veggies from Mexico, and they harvest the stuff, and it's not right. It's not ready. I mean, the food just doesn't taste as good here as it does that way.
I agree. I'm telling you, Texas right now is booming. I've spent time out in the West Coast too. Lived in San Luis Obispo, where there are a lot of farming. There are a lot of vineyards now. That must be true because they're bringing up food from Mexico because a lot of the farmers have given up and in a way sold their farms or sold their cropping to the wine industry. And now I go up there and it's all grapes. You got strawberries going down through Ventura and going down to Santa Barbara there, and Santa Margarita, Santa Maria. I can't remember. It's where around where Michael Jackson used to live. But anyway, but it's mostly grapes now. It's industry. That's California's industry.
Yep, we just don't have it. I mean, and the people out here, they're so programmed. And I'm basically country. A lot of my friends say, "How could you still be country? You've been out here a while." But I just have I still have those ways, and I'm actually, proud of them because people out here they eat to get full. They don't eat because the food is good. And there's a difference, It don't have a taste. So they eat to get full. They live in this fast pace, and then they have to take all these other kind of nutrients because the food is starved of any kind of nutrients whatsoever. So now you got to take all these other kind of vitamins and stuff to try to make up for what you're not getting in food. So I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I missed that too. I was in California. That comfort food that we have here, the turnip greens, the catfish, the fried chicken, the chicken cooked all kinds of different ways. Fort Worth and Houston probably have the best steak, beef in the world. I've traveled around and tried to find better steak. It's just, you're right. It's just about taste and about comfort food and how we share our meals and how we do things. It's a great thing about America. You can really get and be where you need to be for a lot of different reasons. America is so diverse. That's what I love about it.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, and even more so because you can get there a whole lot quicker now. A lot quicker.
I wish we had the speed trains though, man. I'm still wondering why we hadn't got that rail-to-rail speed train speeding from West Coast to East Coast. Because I know they're redoing the LAX there, and they're working on the infrastructure. But that's something we kind of missed the boat on. We got a lot of tech in this country, but man, we need some speed trains now.
maybe if they could figure out how to do it without taking money out of the freight industry and without taking money out of the shipping industry, if they could figure out how to do that, I think they'll get it done.
Well, it is the thing about democracy and the way we do things is things get done slowly. Everybody has to vote. Everybody has to agree, and we got all our surprises going on. But you're right. But we are smart enough to figure that out and to move people more efficiently. We are growing. There's plenty of room in America for people coming in that need a better place to live. We've always been that way. Yeah, there needs to be a process, I agree, but there's plenty of room in the West and in the middle of the country. It's just kind of tough to get there. I mean, and I really think about that a lot. But, I love to travel, so I'm always thinking about how to move people and move myself. I want to see it all, man.
Yeah, me too, because I remember as a young man, shall I say a little boy, coming from Texas to California and back and forth, we didn't have nothing but the Greyhound or a car if you had a car, but, the Greyhound bus was it.
Right. And it's a long way. It's a long ride through the deserts and through the West. It's a beautiful drive, but, yeah, I do the same thing, man. We got that in common, going back and forth, California and Texas. I've always said, they were sister states. The size and the way that we look for life and the way we really enjoy beauty, and it just is a shame that politics can be so different and so divisive these days. But we're really a lot closer than some of our leaders and some of the media and people are beginning to say that we're so far apart. I don't believe that. I think that we're really, really close. It's just our language right now. So I pray about that.
I think if they could figure out how to surgically remove greed, a lot would get done a whole lot faster.
Isn't that right, man? Think about that movie Wall Street when Michael Douglas said greed. Of course, he was a bad guy. But he's like, greed is good. It's just, he was crazy. He was so funny. But you're right. It's not. It's not where we should be. You talk about the difference between greed and love, and just industry and money and business is all you care about. Just inflation and all the economy, different determinants of economy and all that. Then that's one thing. But we are deeper than that. We care about family and love and morality, and we have these really great values in America, and there's just so much more going on. But boy, greed gets in the way. It just it's not growth. It's a distraction.
Well, I think if a lot of these people out in the world had our upbringing, a lot of kids don't know what a hayride is. They don't know what playing baseball with rocks and a stick is. I think if a lot of people had to experience some of those things coming up and going to church, at an early age, participating like that. Because I did the same thing. My aunt was a keyboardist in church, so I was there whether I wanted to be there or not. And I can count the times that I had to sit there with chewing gum on my nose, for chewing gum in church. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but I remember all those times, and and that kind of, should I say, mold us to be who we are today, and I'm blessed for that. Because in spite of all the craziness, I think I'm kind of like a humble person, and I know you are too. So.
Yeah, we did. We got a lot of good upbringing here in Texas, and there's a lot of good places to be brought up. But the world has changed. We got to get through this tech phase here, man, where we're trying to connect electronically and digitally, and figure out how to be a little bit more in the moment. And I hope that music and the arts and some of the expressions that we do so well, I mean, from blues to rock and roll to the R&B and the great lyric that we've come up through the ages, comes back and brings us to that more humble attitude of just being in the moment and not trying to be, 6, 7 different places at one time. I think that's the distraction. But we're all going to have our opinion about that. So
take time to smell the roses.
That's
Jeff, we got another one. We got another one queued up here for you too, and I want to definitely make sure we get our listeners on this one too. The show just time go by so fast when you're having a great conversation with great people.
That's right.
We got Hard Way to Go queued up here too, so we definitely want to get our listeners to put their ear on that one too, so we can talk about that. This is Hard Way to Go, everybody, and this is another joint by Mr. Jeff Clayborn. Put your ear on this one. You know the drill.
Mama taught me about the Bible, Daddy taught me about the bottle, and I learned a thing or two alone. The lies made me struggle, the truth made me humble, and fighting feels like grinding on a stone. Unless you live like Jesus lived, some sins are hard to forgive. There are straight roads and winding roads and ways to get lost. There are wrong turns that have their prices, and you never know the cost. When the devil's always pulling at your soul, the right way is a hard way to go. I'm really searching for some peace. Haven't had a drink in 2 weeks, but I've quit for 2 weeks before. I found a church to keep me straight, and I've been known to miss a Sunday, but that's between me and the Lord. I step forward, I fall back. Mama said you can't get anywhere like that. There are straight roads and winding roads and ways to get lost. There are to go.
Hard way to go, everybody. Mr. Jeff Clayborn. It's another great song, man. I definitely love your voice.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Yeah, that is more on the gospel side, and we will be doing a gospel album and some Christmas stuff coming up here in the fall as we put this tour together and find some time to get back in the studio. But I like singing about real stuff like that. I grew up as an artist in a lot of different ways, and in this life, you got to choose right from wrong a lot. There are a lot of temptations, as there are for everybody. But when you're thinking about public life, or you're thinking about your goals of trying to reach out a little bit more, you got to make those right choices, and sometimes they're really tough choices to go the right way, and you and I both know what the right way is. So.
Yes, it's so true, so true. Jeff, you know how to cook?
Yeah. I'm not a great cook. My mom was good enough cook to take care of all that for me, but I tried to pay attention. I'm not as good a cook as my brother, but I do love good food.
Well, we got into the last couple of minutes of the show, but I just wanted to run that out there to you. And the reason that I asked that I have a show in production right now, and I'm going to talk to you about it a little later off the air, but it's called Cooking with My Homies, which is a celebrity-based cooking show. And, I'm featured, and I'm shooting a pilot. I'm shooting 6 pilots, and I have celebrities representing each genre, R&B, hip-hop, gospel, country, jazz, and rock. So
great.
I'm just listening to talk to you, man. I like your spirit. So I don't know if you'd be interested in representing, the country genre. I know you tour, and the whole purpose of this show is the artist is out on the road to get tired of the McDonald's stuff, that don't mind going in there and cooking what their mama taught them or their grandmama taught them. I mean, that's what the show is all about, And we feature the artists playing whatever their song is, and then we talk about their career and stuff, and we transition into the kitchen and let the artists, make their mama spaghetti or whatever it is. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. My mom put a cookbook together that I could share with you. So I'd be happy to do that. That's a great idea. That's a winner, man.
Yeah,
that'll go well.
The show's called Cooking with My Homies. So definitely, we'll definitely be talking to you about that one, though. So we're working on that as we speak.
Great.
Because a lot of artists, they get tired of that stuff, man. They don't mind going in there, but, a lot of your fans, they want to see what you do. They want to see what you eat, outside of hearing your music, they want to know, it kind of make them have a little more, a personal attachment where you get to have a fan that's out there, get to come up on stage and, help you put together something. So it's going to be fun. Yeah. It's going to be nice. So, yeah. So definitely put that on the schedule, and I'll have my people get in touch with your people so we could definitely go ahead and knock it down for you.
That's a great idea, man. There's plenty of room for that on TV, and that sounds like some good, fun, honest programming. And like you say, it makes everything personal. You can always tell a lot about people, about what they grew up eating and what they eat and what they cook and make for themselves. So I love it.
Yes. So, man, listen, I want to thank you so much for coming and joining us, man, and I know we're going to be in touch soon, and I feel like I got a new friend today.
Absolutely.
And I definitely hope our listeners enjoyed us and been able to take a little something that we said and enhance their lives and go out and smell the roses, and definitely go out and give Mr. Jeff Clayborn support and get his music. Go out and check it out. You won't be disappointed.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I had a lot of fun today, and I love talking like this, man. It's a great way to be, and I really felt like we were in the moment, man. So thank you for getting me there today. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, man. And we're going to be in touch, man. Much love and respect.
Sounds great. I'll be looking forward to it, man. Have a great week. Everybody out there, have a great weekend. Take care of yourself. Love those around you, man, and take care of yourself.
Will do. Mr. Jeff Clayborn, everybody. If you missed the show from the beginning, you'll be able to hear it in its entirety in about 2 minutes. You'll be able to get to hear everything, so you have no excuses. Come back next Wednesday, same time. I am Indy. You can check us out, worldmovement.com, iHeartRadio. Matter of fact, Amazon, Alexa, you can get it everywhere. So, if you don't know, ask your mama, ask your daddy, ask the neighbor across the street at the gas station. But somebody know how to hear the show. So check it out.
Guess what? Your time is up. 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 Guess what's in your kingdom? Guess what? Your time is up. Your kingdom. Guess what? Your time is up. Your kingdom. Guess what? Your time is up. Your kingdom. Guess what? Your time is up. Not by power, not by might, but by my spirit, said the Lord. You must free my Israelites. I'm standing by the door. And I know what you've been doing. You've done my people wrong. 400 years they've lived in fear, and I'll come to make them strong. Babylon, your kingdom. Your time is up. Your kingdom. Your time is up. Your kingdom. It must come down. Your kingdom. It must come down. On this rock I build my church.